So we're starting here with a quick demonstration of what the posterior chain is. It's all of the muscles and the connections that run down the back of the body, so behind the spine. So here, when you stretch forwards, it actually elongates by up to 30 centimeters if you were measuring from the heel to the head in a linear fashion over and up through the back. So it's really important to remember that these muscles need to be stretched properly, and here's some stretches to help with that.
So we're moving on to some of the stretches. We're going to start working from the bottom upwards, and we're going to go all the way through the posterior chain. This stretch is going to work the Achilles tendon, the gastrocnemius and the plantaris. The important thing is that the angle here, we need to close this angle. So we need to make the angle smaller, but we need to do it with a bent leg and we need to do it with a straight leg. So we're talking about stretching procedures rather than holding one particular stretch. So the important thing for this one is that we're going to do a movement 10 times and then we're going to do a 10-second hold before we move to the next exercise. So the first thing I want to do is bring my heel close to the wall. So the ball of my foot is attached to the wall here. I'm trying to push through here. The closer I get my heel to the wall and the lower I dip, the more of a stretch I'm going to get when I come back up. So from this position, I'm using the back leg. What I'm trying to do, there's the gap opening, the ankle here. I'm trying to close the gap, so I'm bringing this point to this point, shin to toes, this way around by bending the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I hold it in for a 10 count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The stretch, I'm going to feel the stretch all the way down here, right through the back. You can see the ankle firing and moving around as we're doing this stretch. So I'm going to do the same thing. This was with a bent leg. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sink the leg back, and now instead of bringing the shin to the toes, I'm going to bring the hip to the wall. So it's a very similar stretch, but slightly different muscles that we're working as we do this. So I'm going to be pushing the hip to the wall. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I'm going to hold in, hip to the wall, trying to push the hip forwards. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I come back off the wall. These two stretches are going to be paired with fingertips on the wall, raising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to slowly sink down at the stretch and then give the leg a shake. And I'll repeat this left side and then right side. So I've got bent leg against the wall, first of all, with a hold on the 10th rep, and then I've got straight leg against the wall, and again I hold on the 10th rep. The angle, you can play around with the angle, you can play around with the foot position here, but we want to be mostly pushing through the big toe, the ball of the foot, the big toe, and then we're working from here. 10 reps, 10-second hold, 5 raises, whatever 5-second hold, and we repeat left leg, right leg. The more times you do it, the better. Don't overwork it though. You've got to think of it like paracetamol. 1 stops your headache, 50 is going to kill you. So if you go too high on the reps, you're going to damage that muscle. Very, very important when you're stretching the calf. This is the first set of calf stretches. Okay, so we've stretched out the calves. Again, don't get stuck in the container of the particular stretch we're doing. You don't have to do them in the same order all the time. It's great to mix it up. So one day I might start with the hamstrings first and the lower back, then I might go down to the calves and the ankles and things, and you just flip around. If you just do the same one all the time, it's not going to be helpful for you. What you need to do is, where are you tight? If my calves are more tight than my hamstrings, I need to stretch my calves more. If my hamstrings are more tight than my calves, I need to stretch my hamstrings more. Okay, this next one is just a three-stage procedure that we do. So I'm going to lean forwards as far as I can. My goal here is to not curve from the back, is to keep the back straight, and I'm folding from the hip socket. So I'm going in this position, yeah? I'm going to push forward, and I'm going to go as far as I can. From here, your job is to see if you can get the wrist past the toes. I don't want to have the toes pointed, I want to pull the toes back this way round. Another good test in this position is, can I contract the quadriceps and lift the heels off the floor while still leaning forwards? So heels off the floor is a very good one. And then remembering to keep the back straight and breathe the whole time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold this position for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can move around slightly. What I don't want to do is pull back this way or pull to here. The feet need to be level. Going back to imagine you're like you were stood on the floor. Then I come up for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I place the hands on the floor. Come back over, and I'm trying to get to this position. I can do this with toes pointed, or I can do it with the toes pulled back. But I'm getting a small curve on the back, and I'm coming here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I come back over into this position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we come back and we kick through. If you're not too flexible, you might be sort of like here somewhere in this position, or you can go slightly bent legged, but we're going here. We're trying to curve that. You can support with your hands, or you can have the hands on the floor, or you can relax right into the stretch this way around, depending on your flexibility. But it's 5, 5, and 5. There's no set prescription for the reps. I'm not going to say do this 10 times in each position. You're going to do it until you're loose. What I normally do is I set a timer, and I'll just keep going through it, depending how I feel. If I'm tight, I might do it for sort of 6 minutes. If I feel quite loose that day, I might just do it for 2 minutes. But again, you are the one who knows where you're tight. If you don't, then you need to start checking, does that feel tight? Can I move in this position? And then that way you can build up a little log of which bits of your body are tight. Normally what happens is your environment throughout the week affects massively, has an impact on your body. So you need to make sure that you know what your weekly movements are in terms of, oh, I sit still for 4 hours, or I run a marathon every week, or I like to do sprints, and then that's going to have an effect. You need to use your stretching to undo the effects, or the bad effects of your practice this way around. Really important. We're going to move on to the next one. Okay, the next stretch, we're working from a straddle position. What we're not doing is we're not allowing the feet to be out so far that when I lean forward, I get internal rotation of the hip sockets this way around. Yeah, so this is a different stretch. What I'm trying to do, I want the feet 90 degrees. I like to sit on the corner of the mat and use the lines on the edges of the mat. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice big deep breath, and I'm going to rotate so I'm facing my left leg. My chest cavity is completely facing the left side. Then I'm going to sink down like a robot straight forwards, and I'm going to try and take the chin towards the knee and nose towards the end of the toes here. Once I've got to here, I'm going to stay in a horizontal position with my shoulders as much as possible, and I'm going to roll to the middle here, and I'm going to carry on going through to the right side, and I'm going to come up. And as I do this, I'm going to breathe out through the whole stretch. So take the big deep breath in, breathing out. Just around. Think of it like a balloon. So the lungs are obviously very similar to a balloon. If a balloon's empty, I can fold it in half really easy. If the balloon's full up, it's going to be very difficult to fold. So that's what we do. We're emptying it so that everything can move properly, and then we're just going to go through the motions. So I want to go across to one side, come round, come up, turn to the middle and back down. So it's really flowing through the motion, and as you loosen up, as you go through, down, across, up, back to center, to the right side, down, across, up and center. And then once I've done that, I'm going to go through the same thing, but I'm going to hold each position for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and so on, and then to the center. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm trying not to touch the floor on this one, so I'm loading the legs with the weight of the body, and I'll progressively relax as we do this one. 10 seconds here, and then same thing across for 10 seconds. I try to always realign my feet and my hips, so the toes are vertical. See, this one's tipped slightly, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to bring that up, and then I'm going to relax in, keeping an eye on everything, and then come back up and square up again. And again, set the timer. Don't do specific sets and reps this way around. Work through till you're loose. The indication that you're getting better at it is when you go back to the test stretches and you've improved this way around. So again, you'll know because you'll get closer to the floor and you'll find these moves a lot easier, and you'll be looser through the middle of the spine as well. But that's what we're doing with the straddle stretch. One side, middle, other side, back up. One side, middle, other side, back up. So we're going left to right, right to left, and we just repeat until the legs are as loose as possible. Okay, the next one, these are stance stretches. So what we're going to do is we're going to do two procedures. One is static holds, and the other one is rep and hold. So we're going to do a movement, and then we're going to hold it at the end of the movement. So I'm going to run you through both, but first of all, we're going to go through the details of each position. So I'm going to take my feet to a comfortable distance where I can keep my back straight, my shoulders are above my hips are above my knees, and my knees are above my heels. So I want to have a line on the floor from this position. This around. So back up straight, hands can go on the hips, or you can fold the arms. Don't push pressure on your knees on these ones, yeah? So don't push down on the knees. All I'm going to do from here, I'm going to adjust myself towards my left side, pushing the knee out, and I'm going to try to point the knee in the direction the toes are facing here. Sinking up, so I'm not leaning at all, back straight, both feet flat on the floor, and the legs straight. Again, I'm doing this from a cold position, so I'm quite cold at the moment in terms of stretching wise, and that you're going to see the progressions as they happen. So this is the first one, feet flat facing forwards on parallels like a train track, one leg straight, other leg bent, weight adjusted to that side, and then I'm actually going to hold the weight on this leg, allowing this one to relax, yeah? So I'm going to hold that for 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to go onto the heel, and I'm going to pivot the leg to the side. You can bring the leg back in slightly on this one, and then we're going to sink. My aim is to keep the back leg straight with the foot flat on the floor in the same position I just had it. The left leg has pivoted 90 degrees. I'm going to turn to face the left leg, and then I'm going to sink down, and I'm trying to achieve a horizontal position between the knee and the hip. This way round, and then I'm going to keep the back straight. I'm going to face this way for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm then going to rotate my back leg, so my right leg, I'm going to come up onto the inside of the foot. So the sole of the foot is now pointing away from me, and I'm going to sink in. If you're more advanced, you can sink, so we have knee over toes. So I'm actually going to push through, and I'm trying to stretch out all through the bottom of the legs, and I'm strengthening them at the same time with a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We need to contract the quadriceps on the back leg to ensure that the leg stays straight. If you need to, put the hand on the floor, or you can pivot through this way, trying to push the heel back towards the floor. So I'm on the ball of the back foot with a straight leg. The front leg stays as bent as possible, and I'm trying to drive the heel. So this leg is actually pushing me backwards to drive the heel into the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You could either do that arms folded, hands on the thigh, don't put it on the knee. So around. Once I've held this one, I'm going to drop the knee roughly 1 inch off the floor. I want it as close to the floor as possible without touching. If it touches the floor, just come back up, but make sure the weight is there. So don't rest the knee on the floor for this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm then going to very gently place the knee down, point the toes backwards. Front foot is now going to angle 45 degrees to the left side. So I'm going to keep the heel where it is. I'm going to angle the leg 45 degrees, and I'm going to allow the knee to open to the outside. Then I'm going to keep the hips sinking through the middle, and I'm going to relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From this position, pivot the foot back forwards again, and then I'm going to use the knuckle on the big toe at the back. I can take the weight on the hand if I need to straighten the leg up this way around. If I can do this and my back leg is conditioned enough to take the weight, if I've done the reps and spent some time doing it, then I can come up as well, locking this leg out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From this position, I'm going to place the hand down again, and I'm going to rotate the leg. So I'm coming off the big toe onto the heel, and I'm going to sink back into the same position this way. And I'm going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're more advanced, you can take the weight onto the leg this way, and you can try and take the back of the hamstring towards the floor. keeping the knee out, pointing in the same direction as the toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, coming back up, and then you bring the legs in, quick shake, and then we would repeat on the right hand side. So I'm just going to run you through the stretches again. This is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one, depending how low you get. This is the fourth one, this is the fifth one, this is the sixth one, this is the seventh one, and then this is the eighth one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. So this is the left side. I'm going to show you the other procedure on the right side. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to rep into the move, then I'm going to hold it for 5 seconds. It's a much harder way of doing this procedure. So from here, the back stays straight. I'm going from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With a pivot out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, I'm going to roll onto the foot. What I want to do on this one is I want to move slightly forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotating here, I just want to move backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I take the knee to the floor and I point the toes back, turn the foot to the side. From this position, I'm coming out and into the stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, you can place the hand down if you need to. You're coming up. 1, 2. If you can, then you can come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're rotating round onto the heel and we're sitting back. From this position, I'm going to move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'll push back up. The leg's going to be tired. You can shake the legs out. Again, you've got two options. If I'm training, say on a Monday, I'll do the static hold, then I'll give it a day's rest, training on the Wednesday, and then I'll flip to the movement with the holds as well. This way around, you get a good balance. The movement with the holds is much, much tougher, but again, it's not just about flexibility. The legs have to have the strength. You're building strength in the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles, but also you're generating flexibility by stretching the muscles, and you're training the fascial system to allow you to hold these fixed positions. So it's going to burn to start off with. You're going to get lactic acid building up. As the fascial system adjusts, you'll actually be able to hold those, not with the muscles. The fascia will get used to that position, and then you're going to be able to hold those stances. You can do 10 reps, 10-second holds, 20 reps, 20-second holds, tough one, and just flip around between the two procedures, the static holds or the movement with the static holds. And we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so next we're moving on to some more dynamic movements for the leg stretches, which are leg swings. So when we do this again, we're going to go through the process of bent leg and straight leg because it gives you two different things. When you're kicking, you need to be able to chamber the leg. So I need to be able to bring my leg up. So from my fighting stance, my leg comes straight up bent in whatever position I need it to. And then from there, you're going to straighten it. So we're going to go between the two. I'm going to give you just a basic one. So I'm going to start in a multi-directional stance, but I want to have my hand on the wall to balance me at a beginner level. From here, I'm going to be bringing the leg up and down, and I want this time bent. So it doesn't matter whether it's completely bent this way, and it doesn't matter whether it's almost straight, but it needs to be bent. Do not lock the leg on this one. So I'm going to do 5 here. 1, foot down, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other option is to do it without placing the leg down. So I'm just allowing the leg to swing. 2, 3, 4, 5. This around. Then I'm going to go back. This time I'm going to try and straighten the leg. Really important this time. When my leg swings, if I swing my leg with my toes pointed, I'm going to take my big toe off on the mat. It's quite painful. So I'm going to straighten this leg, and I'm not going to straighten the other leg until it comes past. So once it's got past, then I'm going to try and lock my legs straight, both of them, and I want to see how high I can get my leg with it straight this way around. 3, 4, 5, this way. Once you've got a bit more balance on it, you can come off the wall, so you don't need to use the wall. You can just do static here and then coming up both times. But building up with the wall. The wall's a good one to use to help you balance, because then you're not concentrating on your balance, you're concentrating on the movement. So that's a forward movement. Again, works with the posterior chain stretches you did earlier. The next one I'm going to do is side. So I'm going to stand facing, you can do this on the wall, but it's easier for you to see if I do it here. I'm going to turn the leg that I'm not swinging away from the direction I want to swing in. So my heel is now facing the direction I'm going to swing my leg. I'm going to hold here, and as I come up, I want to open the hip, so I'm looking in this position. So this would be the chamber for a side kick here, and I'm going to extend the leg and come back. So I want to get to that position with a swing. So I'm going from here, up and down, up and down, up and down. You're coming up with the body and down with the body as well. So I'm getting a workout on the base leg and the swinging leg. 3, 4, 5. Could do the same thing with the straight leg. Might want to take a little step back. Straight leg turned out, it comes sideways and it stays sideways. So I'm relaxing and allowing the leg to swing. Again, the height is irrelevant. It's about staying loose. Breathe out. So you're emptying the balloon like we talked about before, and allowing yourself to fold this way around. And then the last one we've got is a backward stretch. So from this position, I'm going to look forward, keep the back up. My leg comes in front of me slightly, and I'm trying to bring the leg behind. So first I'm going to go bent leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to straighten the leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it's just loosening up the hip. You can do a few hip circles afterwards, just to loosen up. And then you want to do probably some knee rotations, give the legs a good shake to pop out this way. And that's the procedures for the leg swings. Whilst you're doing a lot of punching, you're going to be causing a lot of tension across your chest, especially if you're doing push-ups. What we don't want it to do is we don't want your practice to affect your posture in a bad way, so you end up looking like a chimpanzee carrying 2 carpets that way around. We all know this sort of shape. What we want is we want the shoulders back, we want relaxed, we want the neck relaxed. So we're just going to give you a few drills which will allow you to stretch out properly and keep your mobility, or even increase your mobility in these areas. So the first one that we do is we go into a kneeling position, place the hands on the floor. I'm trying to make like a tabletop with my back, and then what I want to do is I want to curve the back in one direction, so I'm pushing my chest and belly button and rib cage towards the floor, and then I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades together. So what I'm trying to do is push and pinch, arms completely straight. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the position, so I want to keep the head neutral as well, and then I'm going to push the thoracic spine up towards the ceiling, and I'm going to tuck the bum in and then push this way. Again, I can adjust forwards to make sure I'm level, and then relax. And I want to go between these 2 shapes. 1, 2, 3, pinching the shoulder blades together. 1, 2, 3, pressing up. 1, 2, 3. So the spine here is hanging like a chain. If you have a chain with 2 ends, then the spine's going to be hanging in this position. And I want to pinch those shoulder blades together behind. Relax. You can move your head around a little bit here, and then again we come up. 1, 2, 3. So chain position, and then you want your spine like a rainbow, up this way round, back down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 in this position. The next one we do is we take the hands out, and then I want to try to sit down onto my heels as close as possible, and I take my head through to the floor this way round, up and down. Here. For a more advanced version of this stretch, I can go up onto the elbows, and then I can try and take the head through and back. this way around. Sometimes it's a good idea, you can use a ball tip. What that does is it keeps your hands apart, so I'm going to bring the elbows in close from this position, then I'm going to take the ball behind, and then I'm going to take the head down and back. I'm just working this way around, getting a few. From here, what I can also do, from this same tabletop position, I turn the hand up, so we're in this position, I stretch through and I take the shoulder towards the floor, and then I turn the head to the opposite direction. Once I've done that one, I can lay flat as well, pushing through, coming back up, and I go to the other side, shoulder down, turning the head, laying flat here, stretching out the triceps and the rhomboids at the back, working through, coming back up, and then I can do the same thing with both. 1, 2, and then I walk out, stretching the fingertips out as far as possible, pushing through to the center, this way around. This is a loaded stretch, so I can take my hips off the floor, come up onto my toes, and then push through, and just relax here. Once I've done this one way around with one hand on top, I want to come back out, and I want to go in the other way, and do the same thing. So the pressure points working through the elbows in this position. Coming up. What we've also got is you're going to find, if you've done a lot of chest work, you might not be able to lay flat with the hands and the elbows flat on the floor this way around, especially up high. So if you find that you're kind of here and you're struggling, a good way to open this up is to have a ball between the shoulder blades, hands behind the head, lean back, and then we just open this way around. So I'm pulling backwards, opening the arms. Again, I'll probably do 10, and then a 10-second hold. I've got a real good click on the shoulder there, opening up the mobility in the shoulder, holding that for 10. So it'll be 10 reps, 10-second hold, and then you'll find that your arms are opening up. You stretch the chest out properly, and then you don't suffer. It took me 2 years to get my arms back. After 25 years worth of punching and kicking, my chest, I've done this basically. Very good for fast punches, being in that position, but not so good for the rest of your life. So you want to make sure that you don't suffer from your own practice. These things are just maintenance, and they're going to help you not suffer from your practice.